Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Today, we're diving into a topic that underpins so much of how we connect and interact with each other, reciprocity. I was just thinking back to when I first started this channel, and one of the very first videos I ever made was actually on this very subject. It was a much lighter, more fun take on the idea of returning favors and the little ways we give and take in our daily lives. But things feel a little different now, don't they? Especially when we look at the current political climate. It seems like the idea of reciprocity, which at its core is about mutual exchange and benefit, can sometimes be twisted or perceived in a different light these days. Maybe it's seen as more transactional, more about what can I get, or even used in ways that feel divisive. And that's why I wanted to revisit this topic today, because I believe that the fundamental principle of reciprocity is still incredibly important, now more than ever, for fostering healthy relationships in all areas of our lives, both personal and professional. It's still about that natural inclination that when someone does something for us, we feel inclined to return the favor. It's the give and take that weaves its way through all our connections, helping us build trust and understanding. Now, you might hear the term tit for tat used in similar conversations, and while it's a form of reciprocity, it's not quite the same thing. Tit for tat often implies a direct and immediate exchange, sometimes with an expectation of equal value right away. Reciprocity, on the other hand, is a broader principle of mutual exchange. It's not always immediate or about exact equivalence. It's more about a general sense of give and take that helps build trust and connection over time. Think about it for a second. Has a friend ever helped you move? You probably felt a desire to help them out the next time they needed something. Did a colleague cover for you when you were sick? You likely looked for an opportunity to return that kindness. That's reciprocity in action. It's this beautiful, often unspoken dance of giving and receiving that helps us build trust and connection. And the truth is, reciprocity is something we all engage in, often unintentionally. We smile at a stranger, and they might smile back. We offer a helping hand, and someone might be more willing to assist us in the future. It's woven into the fabric of our social interactions. But today, I wanted to delve a little deeper and talk about why this principle of reciprocity is so incredibly important for creating healthy and sustainable relationships in all areas of our lives. Because while the natural inclination to reciprocate is wonderful, what happens when that balance gets off? What happens when one side is consistently giving more, always making the sacrifices, while the other side is primarily on the receiving end? In the long run, that kind of dynamic just isn't sustainable. Whether it's in a personal relationship or even in a professional setting with colleagues or clients, if one person or party feels like they are constantly being shortchanged, it can lead to resentment, frustration, and eventually, the relationship can really suffer. And this is where things can get tricky. What happens when you've had a long relationship with someone you deeply care about, but you've always felt like they were taking more? So much so that you are now in some way paying the price. Maybe it's emotional exhaustion, financial strain, or simply feeling consistently undervalued. You might reach a point where you feel compelled to let them know that you need to level the playing field, that you need more balance in the give and take. But because you might not have voiced these feelings before, they could take offense. They might be surprised or even hurt that you're bringing this up now. The problem is, your situation has changed, or the cumulative effect of the imbalance is now genuinely hurting you, and you're finally being honest about needing things to shift. I think we've all been there, haven't we? Maybe you've been the one doing most of the giving, or maybe you've witnessed it in someone else's life. It's not about keeping a strict tally like a ledger or favors. There's an article I found that points out the norm of reciprocity is a social inclination. I'll link it in the description below. In healthy reciprocal relationships, both sides benefit. Now, benefit might look different to each person. For one friend, it might be emotional support during a tough time. For a colleague, it might be a helping hand on a big project. The key is that both individuals feel valued, acknowledged, and like their contributions matter. Here's some compelling evidence of the power of reciprocity. In 1974, a sociologist conducted an experiment. He sent Christmas cards to 600 strangers and received 200 back. This illustrates the powerful influence of reciprocation in every aspect of life, similar to how businesses leverage free samples and gifts to enhance their sales. If you'd like to learn more, I included the full article in the description below. And that brings us to a really important point. It's absolutely okay, in fact, it's ideal, to create an environment where both sides win. This isn't about competition or someone having to lose for the other to gain. The key is to have open communication and agree on what winning or feeling valued looks like for each person involved. Both sides need to walk away from the interaction or the relationship feeling like their needs have been considered and that they are genuinely appreciated for what they bring to the table. Because when reciprocity is truly in action, it means that both individuals or parties are genuinely benefiting from the relationship. This isn't just about a tit-for-tat exchange of favors. It's about creating a dynamic where you naturally want to support each other, where you are invested in seeing the other person succeed, because their success in turn often benefits you, whether emotionally, professionally, or otherwise. It fosters a sense of shared purpose and mutual encouragement. And fundamentally, if we allow this imbalance to continue, we directly undermine the very essence of reciprocity, which is mutual benefit. If one side is consistently giving and not receiving a comparable return, they will inevitably suffer in the long run. This defeats the entire purpose of a reciprocal relationship, where both parties should ideally feel valued and benefit from the exchange. When reciprocity fails to create this mutual benefit, the foundation of the relationship weakens and cannot be sustained. And this principle of mutual benefit and reciprocity isn't just a human thing. We see it all the time in the natural world. Think about the relationship between bees and flowers. The bee gets nectar, which it needs for energy and to make honey, and in the process, it pollinates the flower, allowing it to reproduce. It's a win-win situation, designed by nature itself. Both the bee and the flower benefit from this interaction. Or consider the symbiotic relationship between clownfish and sea anemones. The clownfish gets protection from predators within the anemone's stinging tentacles, and in return, it helps keep the anemone clean and may even attract food. It's a beautiful example of how two different species can thrive through a reciprocal exchange where both sides gain something valuable. Let's strive to cultivate relationships, both personal and professional, where there's a genuine sense of mutual benefit and appreciation, just like we see in the intricate web of life around us. Let's be mindful of when the scales might be tipping too heavily in one direction and have open and honest conversations about it. Because ultimately, reciprocity isn't just about returning favors. It's about building connections that are strong, healthy, and truly fulfilling for everyone involved. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Have you experienced the imbalance of reciprocity in your life? Let's chat about it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one. Remember that nature can teach us a lot about living a good life. Until next time, stay curious.